Hey, how's it going? My name is Reece. I am the founder of the Six-Figure Agency Automation Program, where I help agency owners book 30 to 40 plus meetings a month through cold email and organic marketing. Now, with that said, one of the most common, in fact, I would go as far as saying the most common question that I'm getting right now is from people saying, Reece, you keep saying you should be doing organic marketing, so I have been, but it's not working. So what I want to do in this video is just kind of address why that may be the case. These are the most common things that I see kind of popping up where people are kind of struggling with it. They're not doing things the right way. They're not doing things the way that is going to be most efficient, most effective for them, and really the ways it's going to produce the results. So really, I'm going to go behind the scenes right now in this video, kind of give you everything that I recommend to my students. Not everything, but you know what I mean. Give you the main things that I recommend to my students to be doing. And then the idea is that with you following these techniques, you're already going to be able to book in a bunch of meetings and see some success with your organic marketing. So without further ado, let me go ahead and jump straight into it. Now, I'll start by quickly going over who this is for. Now, this particular free training is for any agency owner currently doing organic marketing without good results. And good results to me with organic marketing is really between 20 to 30 plus sales calls a month. So if you're doing less, I would say, to be honest, you're probably not reaching your full potential. You could probably be doing more. My guess is that most people watching this video are going to be getting a lot less than that, probably around 5 to 10 meetings a month, if so. And really, again, if you're not doing between 20 to 30 plus meetings a month, so at least 1 or 2 a day, then there's probably something going wrong that's stopping you from doing so. Now, it's also for agency owners who are looking to get into organic marketing and have a good system for doing so. So, you're brand new, you've heard me talking a lot about organic marketing and screaming that you have to do it, but you're like, I should do it, but you don't really know how to. Well, I'm going to show you exactly how to be doing it correctly as well in this video. And it's also for new and existing agencies who just quite frankly want to scale to or past the 10K a month mark. If you're watching this, you probably want to book more meetings in, and we all know that more meetings equals more revenue, because more money in your pocket, better results for the client, etc., etc. So let's go ahead and just jump straight into this. And I want to quickly preface by saying, look, organic marketing is a great way to book in meetings with pre-qualified and warmed up prospects. However, a lot of agency owners are spending a lot of time creating content on a daily basis only to then get poor results. And really, as said, this free training is going to help you elevate your organic marketing approach so you can book in more meetings with warmed up and inbound leads. So let's go ahead and get into it. Now, number one. Sounds really simple, but it's not knowing your prospect criteria. And this is going beyond just surface level niche on what your ideal prospect actually looks like in the first place. Because instead of saying, by the way, I actually have a six-figure agency myself. We do paid advertising. It's called HPA Media, and we work with online fashion brands. But that's very surface level. I say we work with online fashion brands. Now, what you really want to do is, instead of saying online fashion brands, you want to get a little bit more specific here. We work with sustainable, high-ticket women's fashion brands already doing above 30,000 a month, looking to scale to 100K plus a month. Now, when you get really, really specific here, and you know exactly what your prospect looks like, everything else becomes easier. Because once you know this, we will use the information for everything that we do outbound. All of your cold emails, all of your organic posts, IG stories, reels, doesn't matter. Whatever you're doing, TikTok, doesn't matter. The idea is that we want to know exactly what that prospect looks like. Because if we're only saying fashion brands, that is everything. That's everything from people that sell shirts to shoes. In some cases, some people could argue that jewelry is fashion. It could be done. It could be specialized hats. It could be backpacks. It could be so many different things. So really with me, I like to focus on high ticket women's fashion brands. It's just what I like to do. I've had really good success with it in the past. So, why not? That's what we do. But the sustainable thing is more of a preference. So to be honest, I don't really mention that too much in my in my content for the agency, but I do mention it when it comes, I do keep it in mind when it comes to the lead sourcing. So we specialize and we focus on sustainable brands. So yeah, Now, really what you want to do is show off the things that your audience wants to see in the form of your content. So, if you're working with, like lawyers, for example, they want to see more formal things and not necessarily rap music or something like that to that stage. Now, obviously, I'm generalizing here, but we have to be a little bit general. Now, if you know exactly who your audience is, you will know exactly what attracts them, what they like to see, etc., etc. So, for example, with my agency content, I would never ever dare post some type of video of me in the club with loads of bottles around me. I wouldn't do it. But on my Facebook, on my Instagram, for my personal stuff, I have done that before. I've shed that off. It's not really my style right now. It's not what I'm doing right now in my own life. So I don't share that type of content. But I definitely wouldn't be posting that on my, on my LinkedIn or anywhere else that I'm posting content for my agency. It just would never happen, okay? So you want to really keep that in mind. It's like you don't want to be doing these things. For B2B, you do want to be a little bit more serious. And to be honest, I can get away a little bit with showing more personality, and that's the point. You want to be able to show personality, but just make sure that there is a limit there. Don't be too crazy with it. You definitely don't want to be posting videos of you drinking out a massive vodka bottle or something like that on your agency, where you do agency content. I hope that illustrates the point, but then going further, it's also like there's just certain things that they just don't want to see. And really, you got to keep that in mind. If you're making a decision to basically make content for your agency, then you have to realize there is an aspect of professionalism that has to be shown there, that you're no longer representing yourself as a person, but in a certain way you are representing your brand. Again, when it comes to myself and my coaching, my mentorship, and what I post on Facebook and Instagram, I can show way more personality, but when it comes to my agency stuff, I don't post some more of the riskier content. So just something to keep in mind there. And also, we just want to use this information here to find sources to actually grow your audience. So that brings me on to the next stage, which is really just having poor quality leads. Now, most people just will add, in my case, if they're doing fashion, most people will just add everybody in the fashion space and think that's sufficient. But obviously what that's going to do is you're going to come across very, very unqualified people. So we got to really focus on places where your ideal prospect really hangs out. And generally, if they've got money, if you're doing around 20 to 30K plus a month, they've got money, they've probably invested in a few things already. So when I say that, we got to be thinking about paid software Facebook groups, specialized software that only people that have a good or decently sized, whatever your niche is, dental practice or lawyers or fashion brands, whatever that may be, wherever they've invested, whatever groups they've invested in, and paid Facebook groups are going to be the very, very best place to get high qualified traffic, because these are prospects that have already invested before. They've already invested in the growth of their business, and now you just reach out to them and say, hey, I saw that you wouldn't necessarily say this, but you're thinking in your mind, they've already invested in one thing. It clearly didn't get them the result that they were after. They still want that result. They're still looking to get that result. I can help them. Let me sell them what I've got and actually help them be successful. That's the general idea, again, that you want to keep in your mind, not necessarily say out loud, okay? Now, as I said, those people have invested in things already, so they're the upper echelon in terms of the quality of people that you could reach out to. But also just look at the influencers in your space, and look at Facebook groups where there's good engagement and they're very well looked after and they're based around your niche, specifically in countries where they're likely to be able to invest in what you've got. So just kind of keep that in mind as well. Now make sure that you're constantly, and I'm talking every day, actively growing your audience. Now, actively means actually sending friend requests on Facebook, connection requests on LinkedIn, whatever platform you're on, but sending that request actively doing that. Not just posting reels and hoping they're going to come to you. Because you can do that, that's fine, but it's not what I teach because it's not active. We want to, when people join my program, my mentorship program, I want to be able to guarantee, and in fact I do guarantee that people are going to be successful working with me. The only way that I can do that is by teaching them exactly what works and having them be active in doing so. Posting reels is just kind of like putting something out there and hoping people are going to be attracted to the content, and it's not the best way to go about it. So you want to make sure that you are actively growing your audience every single day, okay? If you want to do reels and stuff like that, it's a bonus. It's a bonus. It's not necessarily, it shouldn't be your highest priority. So also make sure that you're not accepting people in time zones that you cannot work. So for example, I'm based in the UK. You can probably tell from the accent. So I primarily work with people in America, and my more preferred is Europe. So if people are in Europe, amazing, because our time zone is pretty much the same. If people are in America, again, that's completely fine, because really in a couple of hours, most Americans are going to be awake. So like, it's completely fine for me as well. Their early afternoon is my evening. So it actually works perfect. America, that kind of area, Europe, and then downwise, completely fine in terms of the time zone. But generally, I don't really, just as a preference, I don't like working with people in Asia, Australia, that kind of area, just because of the time zone difference. So keep that in mind. And also just keep in mind that there are going to be some places in the world that people are less likely to be able to afford your offer. Not always the case when we're targeting businesses. Some businesses are going to have decent money and they are going to be able to invest. It's just, again, something to keep in mind, okay? Next, number 3, not having conversations. Now, most agency owners who are doing organic marketing just post one piece of content a day, uploads 2 stories, engages in some Facebook groups, but they never actually speak to their audience directly, right? So we need to be having conversations with the audience on a daily basis. Every day, free up some time. You should be using a calendar, and you should have it there in the calendar that you're going to be reaching out to new connections, responding to messages that you've received, and etc., etc. Now, if your offer is really, really good, if your offer is solid, like it's amazing, then you are going to have some people just booking calls without needing a conversation. And that's really cool. Like, that feels cool. It's amazing. But at the same time, in order to really elevate the success that you're seeing already, we need to make sure that, firstly, of course, your offer is amazing. But like, more actively speaking, we need to be having conversations with the audience in the first place. If we're not having conversations with people, we're not offering calls, we can't be expecting to actually be receiving sales calls. Okay? So, people that book in calls that you've spoken with, so people that you've spoken with and then you've said to them, hey, book in a call, and then they book in a call, they're going to be pre-sold because they're already going to like you. They're going to know that they like you as a person. They're going to know for your content that you're an expert figure or authority figure and you know what you're talking about. And they're already going to pre-sold, they're going to like you, and they're going to be ready to buy. I'm not exaggerating when I said that I've had a few sales calls for the agency in the past where it's pretty much just a logistical discussion because they were already sold. They jumped on the call and they were like, Reece, I'm ready. What's the pricing? How do we get started? What's the next steps? It's literally pretty much that. Obviously, a little bit small talk, but you get the gist. And it's not uncommon. That is possible. And it's only going to happen if you're having conversations with people on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, whatever the platform is, again, but make sure that we're actually having those conversations. So with that in mind, I'm going to bring to the fourth and final little thing that I want to mention here, which is quite frankly just being too spammy. Now, most agencies, if you're already having conversations, they usually open with something like, so you have a fashion brand, we help fashion brands, are you free for a call? Usually a little bit longer than that, but again, you get the basic idea. Now, if they're doing this, it comes across really insincere and really impersonal. It's like you're just copy and pasting that message and sending it to every single person on your list. Now, every message that you send, nobody should ever think it's copy and pasted. Quite frankly, it shouldn't be copy and pasted. Now, if your audience is already high quality, because you've done the work that we've gone through above, your audience will already be pretty well pre-qualified. So for you to then go and spend your time speaking to these people, it's not going to be a waste of time because they're already slightly pre-qualified. They probably have a decently sized business. They're probably ready to invest in the growth of their business. So focus on building relationships with these people. Have a genuine desire to want to help these people because they need your help and that you actually want to help them. Now focus on building relationships, seeing if they need help, and if they do, just give them a life jacket in the form of a call to solve their problem. Have conversations with people. Somebody sent me a message the other day and said, hey Reece, can you look after my script? And obviously I did so, and it was pretty much this. It was just like, hey, this is who we help. Are you interested in having a chat? No, they're not interested in having a chat because you've just come out like every single other agency owners that's doing this, and they just get bombarded with the messages every day. to put it into perspective, I'm going to be very open and candid and frank right now. It's like, think about how many coaches you get every single day messaging you saying, hey, do you want to buy my program? Like, you don't respond to those messages. So why are people going to respond to you when it comes to the agency and you doing a similar thing? It's just not going to happen. So focus on building a relationship. I want to make it very, very clear that when I say focus on building a relationship, I don't mean build a relationship just to get on the call. Like, genuinely build a relationship because you want to help these people. If you don't genuinely want to help these people, then the niche that you're serving is probably not for you. Like, I'm ridiculously passionate about helping agency owners, which is why I'm very happy to build relationships with people. Genuine friendships. Like, people that join my mentorships, I would consider most of them like decent friends. And the reason I say most of them is because some students that are new, it's like we've already got an amazing relationship, but we're going to become friends. Like, everybody that I work with, I would genuinely consider a friend because we have that level of connection. We have that level of rapport, communication, relationship building, and there's a true relationship there for both sides. So make sure that you're focused on that again when it comes to the agency conversations that you're having. Make sure that you focus first and foremost on building a relationship. Only when there's a relationship there and you know what they need, you know that they need help, then it would be almost, you'll be doing a disservice. Because if your friend comes to you and say, hey, I need your help with this, you're not going to go and say no. Or if they say, hey, I'm moving houses on next Tuesday, then you're probably going to be like, oh, sure, do you need help? You're going to offer them your help or whatever the case may be. And it's the same thing when it comes here to this situation. If somebody is talking with you and they're the niche that you serve, which they will be because you're only adding the people in your niche and you're only adding people that are somewhat pre-qualified, then when you speak with them, all you have to do is find out what their issue is and then offer to help them out. Again, you'd be doing a disservice if you didn't help out your friend. So help out your friend by building a relationship, making friends, seeing what they need help with, and then offering to help them. That's it. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to wrap up this video here because I've literally got a call in 2 minutes. And to be honest, I've covered everything that I wanted to. The video's been a little bit longer than I thought it'd be, but I've covered everything that I wanted to in pretty good detail. What I'm going to say, if you have any questions about what I've gone through right now, just comment down below. If you're watching on Facebook, comment down below. If you're watching on YouTube, comment down below. Especially if you're watching on YouTube, make sure that you click the link in the description below. Add me on Facebook because I post these videos primarily on Facebook and then I just kind of upload them to YouTube because I know that some people like to see it on YouTube as well. So that's pretty much it. Now, again, if you are an agency owner that is looking to scale to around the 10K a month mark and book 30 to 40 meetings consistently, like predictably on a monthly basis, then again, go ahead, click the link down below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're watching on Facebook, just comment down below stating your interest in having a conversation with me. Again, this is going to be a really casual chat, similar to what we spoke about here. We're going to just speak. If I can help you out, then I will make an offer for us to get on a call and see what that may look like. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, if you're looking for help, send me a message on Facebook or comment down below wherever you're watching, etc. I hope you found the video. If you need any more clarity, any questions you've got, comment that down below, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care.